Mr. DJ, welcome back to The Way with Jazz and Tae. Before the break, we played a nice, fun icebreaker. Heads up, hey, Mr. DJ, and neither of us are really great. Again, humbling experience for both of us, but it was fun.
I feel like we did better knowing the song this time, but
Yes.
It was getting the other person to guess it.
Yes. Usually they play songs that half the time we don't even know.
I've never heard of. Yeah.
Really difficult. And then when it says that you can't even use the words, it's like, okay, well, that's usually where I know how to pick up. Is like...
Right. Usually the part that they give you, the title, is the only part that I know. I'm like, well,
there goes that.
I want to dance with somebody.
With somebody who loves me?
Every time. I'm stuck. Help. But now that we are back from our break, we actually wanted to take a little bit of a detour on our way to music reviews to review the newest Batman. It came out last Friday. Yeah, it came out last Friday. And I want to say that it's like, what? I don't know how many Batmans they've had, like 5 or 6 at this point.
No, there's been a lot, girl, because there was like the ones that they put out in like the 90s with Val Kilmer and George Clooney. There was at least
Sean
like
Connery.
3 or 4 of those. Sean Connery was 007, not Batman, girl.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
Well, I know he was 007, but was he in a Batman?
Whoa, am I tripping?
I don't know that he was Batman, but I feel like he was in Batman.
But Christian Bale
Ben
had
Affleck.
those 3. Oh my God, I forgot about Ben Affleck. What a flop. What a flop.
You know, I find it interesting. So like,
oh my God, you are so right. He played in the Batman 2000.
Yeah.
Oh no, he played Pennyworth, Alfred.
So he was in it though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Okay, I'm so sorry. Continue.
That's okay. So there's been all of that to say, there's been a ton of Batmans.
Too damn many.
You know, and I think that we all have our favorites. Like everybody has a favorite Batman, and I feel like it's never really the same. For me, Batman will always be Christian Bale. I just think he played the role amazingly. He can be as big of an asshole as you guys want him to be, but like he was selling Bruce Wayne and he was selling Batman. Okay.
I actually just watched that trilogy after watching this Batman, and yes, honey, he's
like
the drama.
Yeah.
The drama.
The acting in general, I feel like I think that's kind of what put me on to Batman and really like these comic book movies. So like I would say I obviously knew of Batman all my life, but like I wasn't like into it until Christian Bale became Batman. And then that first Dark Knight with Jude Law is when I really got into it. Or not Jude Law. Good God, I do this every freaking time. It's Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was like, damn, because I didn't want to be. I was wrong about Sean Connery, so I was like, maybe
no, I
know something else.
I don't know. I don't know why. It's like a Freudian slip where like I change them out all the time.
It's like me with Hurricane Chris and Huey.
Yes, I don't know what it is.
I can't get them right.
There is something in my brain that makes Jude Law Heath Ledger in my mind.
Really quickly before you move on from that, I want to piggyback and say I think I agree with you as far as like the one that sticks with me the most is like an iconic Batman would be Christian Bale. But for me, like childhood wise, I grew up on the Val Kilmer ones, and I think my favorite, the reasons why they were like so special to me actually had nothing to do with Batman, but it had to do with Uma Thurman playing Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about it, but like the way that they shot it and kind of just like the makeup and everything, for me it was very like more comic booky, if that makes kind of sense. Like definitely kind of like for the kids, like it's something that sticks out to me. So like for me, that's what will always be kind of like my marker. Mm-hmm. And then the Christian Bale one came out and I was like, oh, this is like an adult film. Okay.
Yeah, like an action film.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
And the drama, all 3 of those films just run circles around every other Batman movie, I feel like that has
And
been put out.
And I think that's another reason too why I really like those ones, because like they've got a lot of my favorite actors. Like Tom Hardy as Bane.
Ugh,
I
yes.
love that man. And like one thing he's gonna do is act his ass
Ass off every
every
time.
time.
Every
Like,
time.
do not play with him when it comes
Mm.
to acting. Like y'all saw him. Like I just love him. We could talk about Tom Hardy for a really long
My
time.
my introduction to Tom Hardy was that movie Bronson. Have you seen Bronson?
You told me about that.
You got to check it out because that was
And
my introduction to him, and that really set the tone.
yeah. And when you showed me that, it was so like he's the type of person like he's gonna get in character. He's going to bulk up. And that's why when I found out that he was actually Bane, my mind was blown. Because I'm like, I feel like the movie that kind of like made me think he at least hot, was Inception. Like I loved him in Inception. And he was like super smart, kind of an asshole in that movie. And then the Dark Knights with him came out and they're like, oh, that's Tom Hardy. And I was like, excuse me?
Where?
That's an entirely different man.
Different
They are not in
person.
the same weight class even.
The versatile for sure though. He is definitely versatile.
Yeah. And that's one of the things too, is that he's been in a ton of movies.
Venom.
Yeah. That's why I love him, is because he is so versatile, and like you may not even know it's him because he's that good. So Christian Bale, The Dark Knight Rises, the Dark Knight, The Batman Begins. That was it for me. Going into the next series, when they chose Ben Affleck, I was already a little hesitant because Christian Bale, he's end all be all. So I was like, all right, let's see. But also, I'm just not that big of a Ben Affleck fan.
So yeah, and I have a quick question about that too. So like with this whole Ben Affleck thing, like did they bring in Robert Pattinson to like make up for that? Because like I feel like they only used Ben Affleck for one film.
Yeah, they used him for like one, I think maybe one or two. So that's another thing I was going to say, is that with the Ben Affleck ones, I just feel like the DC movies were not good.
They were never
go
good.
around.
They're so corny.
Yeah,
Aquaman, terrible.
Like, and that's, yeah, like Aquaman's bad. The only one I really like is Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, and that was still low key, kind of like too like we're giving all the respect and what to women. Like we get it, you guys, okay?
Yeah,
but,
I loved that one. It was the best one of the entire like DC comic movies that they did. I don't like the second one, but that's a different topic for a different day. But they had the Batman with Ben Affleck by himself, and then they had Batman vs Superman with Ben Affleck, and I don't know who Superman was at the time, and that one was terrible. Like I watched it, and they also had Wonder Woman in it, and it just was like not good. And I don't know if that's whoever's writing and directing, if that's the actors, or if it's because they have to literally rival with the Marvel movies, which are top tier and pretty well written. Like there's not really one that I don't like personally.
Oh, I get it. I got you.
There. Like I feel like the Iron Mans and like the Civil Right and like Black Panther, all that stuff was coming out when they had Ben Affleck as Batman, and they tried to do kind of like the same thing, and it just wasn't giving.
So he was introduced in Batman versus Superman.
Yep.
Dawn of Justice. So that was the only movie they got ready to make one for him. I think as like the Batman or whatever, but they ultimately canceled it
because nobody was fucking with that first one.
And like they did say that he did do pretty good, like he proved naysayers wrong, but ultimately they moved on, and I went with Robert. I don't know what their angle is here also with casting these types of people that nobody wants to see in these roles.
I mean,
they're casting them anyways.
I feel like it's probably their acting, or like, everybody's got to audition, and they're probably like,
no, for sure,
he was the best one for it. But that is the one thing that I'll say with this one is I was very like, I don't know about Edward, because look, Edward, That's why. That's why I don't know about Robert as Batman, because I can't get Edward out of my head.
And I keep seeing all these tweets too that's like, so do I have to watch all the Twilight movies before I can go see Batman? Or like
No, I'd say don't watch them at all. Just go see Batman with no knowing of who Robert Pattinson is, because here's what I'll say. I think he did a really good job.
and you never really get to see him.
Yeah.
I only remember, I can only count maybe 2 to 3 times that you see him outside of the costume as Robert or AKA Bruce.
Bruce, yeah.
And he doesn't look good as Bruce, in my opinion. He looks kind of scary.
That's what I was gonna say. So I love him as the Batman because he is giving dark, moody, and like a vigilante.
Yes.
But he's not giving Bruce Wayne.
No.
Like he's giving like very creepy.
He's giving the guy from Charlie's Angels.
Antisocial.
Who rips out the hairs and sniffs them.
Out hair. Yes.
He's giving that. That's what he's giving.
It's Mr. No. I don't remember his name. Well, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yes.
He was super creepy, and that's like he's giving very like creepy vibes. And for me, like Bruce Wayne has been established as like, I mean, obviously he's super wealthy because of his family, and like he was supposed to be kind of like
thin man.
I don't know. Thin man.
Thin man.
That's his name.
Yep.
Yep. He's giving those, but yeah, like I don't know, like he just seems a little bit more like he'd be a ladies' man or like a bachelor. Like he's out, he's schmoozing with the top, politicians. And Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne wasn't giving that at all. Like I was like, nah.
I agree. I liked that in this. Yeah, it was very much just like purposeful and intent in the sense of like, I'm doing this for the city, for Gotham, trying to get back to his parents' legacy, all that stuff. Yeah.
I loved Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Meow.
I have a lady crush. It's changed from me just like being obsessed with her aesthetic to like a lady crush after this movie. I was like, wow. She just is so BA in the movie. Like I want to be Catwoman now. You know what I'm saying?
And I really like how like she's just so nonchalant, or just like, just very like,
I can do battle by myself. Period.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I liked about it. I was like, that's right, honey. The wigs were on point. So yeah, loved her. Thought that was great. Only criticism, and Jazz said this earlier, it was too effing long.
You guys, I'm already someone who could fall asleep anywhere, and I fell asleep twice watching this movie in theaters. Full disclosure, it was a 9:00 movie, and we did have the reclining seats. Okay, so 2.
That's
2
a setup for a nap.
But here's the thing, I know for a fact I did not miss anything when I was asleep. Like I was able to wake back up, pick right up, not miss a beat. Like, you know what I mean? Just one, I will say this though, one of the times I woke up was right before like a big action scene. Awesome. I didn't fall asleep for the rest of the movie. I was in it to win it at that point.
I'm weak. You're like, ooh, they got me back in.
I said, we're here. We are here.
I am weak.
It was just a lot. Like, I get it. They have to put pieces together to keep the plot moving. But like the other Batman movies were also long and accomplished the same thing, but they weren't 3 hours long.
Right.
So like,
I agree.
Come on, guys.
I feel like there were many times I thought the movie was over.
And it wasn't.
Or like, and it just kept going.
Down. Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, so like, where is the end at? Like when they finally caught the Riddler, I was like, okay, so the movie is over.
And then no, same, because then like
it was like a slow progression to the buildup again, and I'm like,
because it was like he was talking to someone in the jail cell that introduced us to like a familiar person, and right there I was like, okay, bet, yep, they're introducing, they're setting us up for a second film. No, the Two-Face.
Oh, was that Two-Face?
Two-Face, baby. Yep.
Why would he be in jail?
You gotta watch the other Batman movies that I was talking about, because it has Tommy Lee Jones in it as Two-Face, and this particular character mimics kind of like how his makeup was in that. Like, check it out.
But why would he already be in jail?
And you only see that side of his face. Girl, I wish I knew. I don't know. But that's who that is. That's who that is.
Okay. I thought it was the Joker for sure. Just from the voice, but okay, I'm excited. Yeah, I did like that. But yeah, from that part, like there was just many points, like from them capturing the Riddler. Honestly, from when that main mob boss guy died, I thought it was over there. Like I just thought the movie
Oh
was
yeah.
over at so many points, and every time it kept going, it was like another slow build to the point. Like,
Well, and what kind of geared me up to like I knew things were going to pop off at like the electoral thing or whatever, because all throughout the movie they were
they've been
kind
talking
of,
about that.
or like it was, they were talking about it, and then like in certain scenes there'd be advertising like in the background and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this they're definitely setting us up for like whatever this event is, something big is going to happen there, and we just have to wait to get there.
Yeah.
And they're literally just like kind of setting shit up so that we can finally freaking get there.
Yeah. It took forever and
Too fucking long. I'm telling you guys, they could have 3 hours, maybe two hours, 20 minutes. They could have cut out 40 minutes. They
yeah,
could
like
have
there's some
easily.
stuff that could have been very easily cut out. I also would like to know, why do they always cut Catwoman out of the movie?
What do you mean?
Like it feels like she's only going to be in that one movie, and now like going forward she won't be in anymore.
I mean,
She left.
It's not about her though, right? Like,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why don't they ever have Catwoman in more than just one movie?
I feel you on that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can easily rewrite the story.
Yeah.
They do it every time, you know?
And I will say that Catwoman and Batman do share a kiss, and I hated it because it felt out of place.
Yeah, exactly.
Batman was literally like hanging on for dear life, literally about to die, and she bends over and gives him one little peck. It wasn't even like a life-saving make out, like, no, it was literally a peck on the frickin' lips, and then pulled him to safety. But whatever. Yeah,
no, like I feel like
spoiler alert.
I think that's another, there's a couple spoilers there, but I think that's another reason why I'm like, I don't understand, like, I don't know. I feel like it's like you meet this person who's on like the same path. You guys kind of create this relationship or partnership, and now like they're completely out of it. But it's like, why wouldn't they have like a kind of a spin-off series where like Batman, Catwoman, I don't know, fight crime together? I don't know. Like they even did that with Dark Knight, where they brought Anne Hathaway in as Catwoman for like one movie, and I'm like, I want more of that.
She played here's the thing. You say Catwoman, and all I think about is Halle Berry. When in actuality, Michelle Pfeiffer did it before Halle even did it. And then I think Halle was the only one that got her own movie.
Yeah.
There's only that one. Why aren't they remaking the Catwoman movies the way that they're remaking the Batman movies?
And so that's my next question.
You know who I'd want to see? Are you ready? You know who I'd want to see as Catwoman?
Who?
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Interesting.
I'm just imagining her in that suit, to be quite honest. I'm sorry. That was maybe like my horniness getting ahead of me.
I was about to say, I see Catwoman as a little younger. No offense, Tracy.
Halle,
you know I love you, girl.
Halle or Chloe Bailey?
Okay.
Zendaya? Yara Shahidi?
I don't know. I feel like for me with Zendaya, like she's already in a lot of stuff. And so it's just kind of like,
okay. So we're just gonna take a bag away from her because she's got enough. Yeah.
Spread it to the other black girls who don't have the same amount of bags. Hello. Like, let's let somebody else also get an Emmy. Like, huh?
Yes.
I want everybody to win. But that is our review of Batman. Okay, wait, no, that's not really our review. Would you say A through F? A through F, what are you giving it?
A through F. Is F bad? A is good. Obviously. Yeah. Sorry. Duh. I'm gonna give it a solid B plus.
Okay.
Only because, and in all honesty, it was a little bit corny. Like, it's definitely PG-13. It's for the kids, so it was a little bit corny. It was very long. That was really pretty much it. It was kind of corny and it was pretty long. And I know that we're not supposed to like really compare it because it's its own thing, but it's human nature because there are so many other Batman movies you're gonna compare it, and it was good for what it was. I do like that it was it was dark. Like their version of the Riddler was not Jim Carrey's Riddler at all, and I liked that. So yeah, I'm giving it a B plus.
Yeah, I gave it a B as well. I think I went into it with absolutely no expectations, like just let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
And I was pleasantly surprised. So I think that's why I give it a B. Like I don't really have any problems with Robert Pattinson playing Batman. Like I legitimately was like, do not put Ben Affleck in another Batman movie. But I could see Robert Pattinson as Batman. I don't know. Like we need to talk about Bruce Wayne. Like maybe they're like changing his whole character to where he's a little bit more antisocial. But like I don't like him as Bruce Wayne. That's the only thing. Like I just think of Bruce Wayne as a more sophisticated, like socialite, you know? And Robert Pattinson is not. He is giving Edward. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. He's giving Edward as Batman.
I could see that.
Yeah. So, and then my only real criticism is that it was too long. I was just like, I don't do well in 3-hour movies, and I didn't realize what I was signing up for when I went to go see it. I just went and saw it because
I just don't get what their intentions are. Like with Titanic, even nobody can sit still for that freaking long. Are you kidding me?
The only 3-hour movie I've been able to successfully sit through without being like, when is it over, is Straight Outta Compton.
Is that movie also long?
It's 3 hours long.
Did you know I still haven't seen that?
Girl, what?
I know. Take away my card.
I saw it like 4 times in theaters. I paid money. Like, I personally spent about $60 to $100 in theaters to see that movie.
You want to know the only movie I've ever done that for?
Grease.
In theaters, girlfriend.
You never know. They got drive-ins that play old movies.
It was Twilight, the first one.
No, girl.
Yep. I went and saw that movie in theaters no less than 7 times in theaters.
It was not that good.
As a 14-year-old, it was the best movie of my lifetime.
I went and saw it as well, and it was the
best love story of my life.
Was it?
At that point in time, girl, I could not see beyond that.
The best love story, like Bella got to a very like weird dark space in the second movie.
Girl,
was it the third movie?
She got in a weird dark space as soon as she decided, I want to be a vampire so that I don't ever have to live without you, Edward. And this is the best thing ever. And I was just meant to be a vampire. Why don't you understand that?
Like, she literally, did she try to jump off a cliff just so he would come back?
She was experimenting with seeking thrills because she realized that anytime she was close to danger, she could hallucinate Edward. So she was just seeking that next thrill. And she decided to go cliff jumping because the boys on the reservation were doing that for fun. It was a hobby. And Bella, being the clumsy bitch that she is, almost died in the process.
So like I said, what kind of a love story?
To be quite honest, it's not one I've ever wanted to be a part of. I'm not, like, in hindsight, no. The way that he loves me, yes. But everything else, no thank you.
Like, it was a lot going on.
Shantae, if you ever catch me trying to be like, I'm just trying to harm myself because when I do, I get visions of my ex. So, like.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny.
No, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Like, when you say it like that, when you put it like that, it's like, whew, okay.
But that's
that's exactly what was happening. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we are going to, on that note, take another quick 2 to 3 minute break before we hop into our reviews and the songs that we have been playing on the repeat in the past month or week. For us, stay tuned. You guys are listening to The Way with Jazz and Tae.